What's up everybody, it's Gomlet and welcome back to another greedy draft of Ravnica Allegiance. Let's just hop right into it and see what we open here. So we start off with a Guardian Project as our rare. I think this card is really nice. It might even be better in greedy draft just because you can get this out really fast. You can get it out on turn 2 since you're playing 2 lands a turn. You start with 9 cards in hand, so you don't need the card advantage as much, but I still think that it will probably be pretty exceptional. There are some other pretty good picks here. Wrecking Beast was pretty strong last time just because you get your mana so fast in this format. And other than that, there's just cards that are normally good in the formats. Dovin's Acuity we could try to build around. Blade Juggler's probably still alright, at least. And Grotesque Demise, maybe a little weaker in this since people can play bigger cards, but I'm just going to take the Guardian Project here to draw a bunch of cards. Wow, that is the Sphinx of the New Prov, but I don't think that I want to play a card that costs 2 white and 2 blue with a Guardian Project, unless I could be like base white-blue and splash in the green. I kind of just want to keep it to 2 colors mainly and just like maybe have a little bit of a splash. So like maybe I could just main color white and blue cards, but that just seems like a pretty difficult mana base. Kind of just want to take something that fits in with the Guardian Project colors for now. So I think Aeromunculus is probably still pretty good. 3 mana 2/3 and then it becomes a 3/4 flyer. Mammoth Spider was pretty nice last time. Other than that, it's just taking a bunch of off-color stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Aeromunculus here, because I also think that Izzet could be pretty nice in this format with all the adapt cards, since you'll have a bunch of mana to use them. So there's a Wrecking Beast or a Chillbringer, both are really nice. There's also Applied Biomancy, which is certainly alright. I do think it's probably weaker in a greedy draft, just because trying to play a bunch of tempo cards doesn't like work as crazy well, I've found in greedy draft, just because it's kind of hard to out-tempo someone when they're able to just cast so much so fast anyway. Which is definitely one of the things that I've been noticing with the Azorius decks. They seem pretty weak in this format, so I think it's between Wrecking Beast and Chillbringer, and Wrecking Beast we might wheel that other one, so maybe you just take the Chillbringer for now, because I kind of want to just have like 1 copy of each creature just for this Guardian Project to have maximum value, do a lot of stuff. So I think I'll take the Chillbringer first and hope to wheel that Wrecking Beast that we saw earlier. Sora Form Hybrid is like a perfect pickup here. We could also take a Bulrak Clan Crusher and move into Teamer, splash in some red. I think I just want to take the Hybrid though. The card's definitely going to be great. Rampaging Randhorn or Swirling Torrent. Swirling Torrent could be okay, but again, I think it's just weaker because of the format. Kind of want to just take the Randhorn, but I think I can get one later, and I really only want 1 copy of everything. I can definitely get a copy of Mammoth Spider later. Yeah, let's try out the Swirling Torrent, I guess. Wilderness Reclamation. I don't really think we need that. But it is cute. Guess we just take the random Rush Strider. Take a Scuttle Gator. It is a lot of mana, but you have a lot of mana in this format. Or the Guild Gate. We can probably get a Scuttle Gator later. We can probably get a Gator later. I just realized the stupid pun I just made. Yeah, so I'll just pick up the Guild Gate there. Here we could take a 3/2 that doesn't do anything, or another Guild Gate, so I'll just take another Guild Gate. Here we have Wrecking Beast or Growth Spiral, so we did wheel the Wrecking Beast, which is basically perfect. Just gonna slam him right into here. Now we'll take the Mammoth Spider. And we've got a nice start. So we could just take another Wrecking Beast here. Or the Thought Collapse. I think I'm still just going to take another Wrecking Beast. even though we will have more than one copy of that creature, so if I draw 2 Wrecking Beasts, that'll be awkward unless they, like, exile it, then it'll be hilarious, but it's still a good card, even if it makes my Guardian project slightly less good. I think I still want 2 copies of Wrecking Beast. So we can take a Ceruli Caretaker, but I don't think the ramp, like, really matters in this format, so I think I'll take an Azorius Locket, because, like, not only is it ramp, it also is fixing, more importantly, if we get anything in white that we want to splash into. And then if we, like, draw a hand where we've cast our 1 or 2 splash cards, then we can just sack the Locket and draw cards out of it. So that's a decent sideboard card. Take a Shimmer of Possibility. I don't know if I'm running this card. It is something that we can consistently cast on turn 1, since we get to play 2 lands each turn. Look at the top 4, put one of them in your hand, the rest on bottom. It's probably better in Greedy Draft than normal, just because of the fact that you can just use it as your turn 1 play consistently. So Wilderness Reclamation or Arrester's Admonition. These are both, like, not incredible, and I'm probably not playing them. I think it's even less likely that I play Wilderness Reclamation, because I need to have, like, a lot of adapt and stuff to want to play it. Alright, pack 2. There's another Wrecking Beast, or a Revival Revenge, or a Senate Courier. Not really a whole lot I'm super excited about here, so I guess I'll just take a Wrecking Beast. Now we have another Simic Guildgate, another Wrecking Beast, a Prying Eyes, and a Precognitive Perception. 5 mana Scry 3 Drothi. That seems pretty good. I'm going to pick up the rare here. Try that out. So another copy of Aeromunculus, or a Growth Spiral, or Simic Guildgate, or a Biogenic Upgrade. I think I want the Biogenic Upgrade here. This is a pretty good game ender. Just put 6 +1/+1 counters on a creature, minimum. And if you happen to have creatures that already have counters on them, then you get to get even more value out of this. So I think that card can be really strong. End the game out of nowhere for sure. Might want to take the Gateway Plaza. Just another card for helping fix into a 3-color deck if we want it. I'm going to go ahead and put the Shimmer of Possibility in the main deck for now. Go ahead and check out our curve. It's definitely higher than usual, but I think that's what you want in Greedy Draft. Might even be running 19 lands in this deck, because we have, like, so much really high mana cost stuff. I'm just going to take the Gateway Plaza. So I think we will splash a Law Mage's Binding into this deck. Go ahead and put the Locket in there and put the Binding in. Because the other option's just an Axebane Beast. He's not that great, and we can probably get one later to run him if we want. So let's go ahead and put a Law Mage's Binding in here and throw the Azorius Locket in. So we don't have a Rampaging Rendhorn yet, but we could also take a Senate Griffin and cast it pretty reliably. We don't have anything at 4 mana. I think I like the Senate Griffin just a little bit better, just because I don't have anything to do at 4 mana outside of Guardian Project right now. But since you're playing 2 lands a turn, that would be 2 lands on turn 1, 4 lands on turn 2. So on turn 2, I can just play any of these 3-drops instead of the 4-drop. So it's kind of like these are all just 1 mana cost right here. In terms of curve. And then like 5 and 6 drops are like 1 mana cost. But I think that there's more of a difference between 5 and 6 mana cards than there are between 3 and 4 mana cards in this format, because, like, what if you just haven't drawn 6 lands by turn 3? Because then you'll have drawn 12 cards total, because 9 in your opener and then 1 more card per turn. So that would be, if literally half your deck is lands, then you will have drawn on average 6 lands by turn 3. So, yeah, you won't always hit your 6 mana on turn 3. You won't even always hit your 5 mana on turn 3, but I think most of the time you'll hit 4 mana by turn 2 if you put a lot of lands in there, like 18 or 19 like I have. Or like I plan to. So yeah, we could just pretend these are all the same mana cost, in which case I think I do just take the Rendhorn first and try and get a Griffin later. Like right now, we could take a Griffin. There's also a Windstorm Drake. So we can take Windstorm Drake, and now we just pick flyers a lot higher. We have a Chillbringer, and that's pretty much it for flying. That seems fine to take the Drake here, because the only other card I'd be picking is another flyer anyway, so... Let's see... Gateway Sneak? I think I like the Gateway Sneak here. We could take a second Rendhorn, which... Actually, I have seen Gateway Sneak be pretty weak in this format just because of how quickly it can be outclassed by larger creatures, and I think just larger creatures might just be the strat, so maybe we should just take Rendhorn. Because it worked out really well last time to just have bigger creatures than our opponent. Yeah. With Gateway Sneak, we could be doing something a little different than what we were doing last time, but I think that Rendhorn's just straight up going to be better from my current experience with the format, which is not a whole lot, but I think it's enough. So we take the Senate Courier here, because it goes with the Windstorm Drake. And I don't think Growth Spiral is going to be that great here, just because you can play all your lands anyway. So we can take another Wrecking Beast or a Swirling Torrent. I think I just want to take the Wrecking Beast here, and now we're just definitely running like 20 lands and hoping to just get there with Wrecking Beasts. That seems like a fine plan, in my opinion. Like, this is the kind of deck that I would love to be able to draft and have it work in a regular deck, or in a regular draft, but it doesn't really because it's too slow. Greedy Draft just speeds all of the decks up. So, like, just stupid decks like this could possibly work. So we'll take another Guild Gate. Take Open the Gates, or a Gruul Locket. Both of them are just to help splash. I guess I'll take the Locket because we don't have any off-color Guild Gates. I don't really want to play any of these. I guess I'll take a Watchful Giant. We could possibly play Prying Eyes, so I'll put it in the deck for now. And final pack here, we got a rare in our colors, so I think we just take that. Card's very nice. If it's in your opening hand, which there's like a 1/4 chance that it is in this format because you have a 9-card opening hand, you just get to scry 3 at the very start of the game. That seems incredible. And even if you don't get it in your opening hand, it's a 4-mana 4/4 flyer. That lets you scry during your upkeep. So that's really nice. That's gotta just be great. So we can take another Rendhorn or an Azorius Night Arbiter, or the Guild Gate for splashing this Law Mage's Binding. Law Mage's Binding is the only thing we're splashing in right now, so I might actually just take the Locket and the Binding out now. But then we have, like, no removal. Yeah, that's a little bit rough, but I think I'm just going to take the Rendhorn, and maybe I can get a fight card like ever. I could just put another Arrester's Admonition in here, try and, like, remove things that way, but I think I'm just going to make the silly, just no removal, try and just bash face deck. Second Windstorm Drake? How many flyers do I even have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I guess that's okay. I am really tempted to just take the Guild Gate and put the Law Mage's Binding back in and just not play the Azorius Locket instead. So that's the main thing I'm thinking about. I don't know. I think that this deck might be better with just the single Law Mage's Binding and an Azorius Guild Gate than with double Windstorm Drake. Just because we don't have like a whole lot of flyers, and we might even want to cut the flyers out and just become beefy boys as our win cons. Yeah, I'm going to take the Guild Gate, put the Binding back in here. Yeah, I don't think you can have too many Sauroform hybrids in this format, and I don't think Gyre Engineer's that great. If you just play a lot of lands. Yeah? Our Guardian Project's getting more awkward, but I think it's still a good card. even if you have a bunch of copies of the same stuff. So Skatewing Spy, I think, is the pick. 4 mana, 2/3, and adapt for 6 mana. It becomes a 4/5 flyer, and all of your stuff with counters on it has flying. So these 3 Rendhorns, these 4 Wrecking Beasts, the 3 Sauroform hybrids, and anything I biogenic upgrade will have flying if I have Skatewing Spy out. That seems ridiculously good. But at the same time, there's a Titanic Brawl that I'm really hoping to wheel, and that's really unlikely because it's pick 6 already, but Skatewing Spy just seems so good that I'm just taking the Spy. Here's a Titanic Brawl. I'm just going to take that here. The only thing I'm missing out on is another Guildgate or a Gyre Engineer or Senate Courier or Steeple Creeper. None of these 4 cards seem exceptional, and I really need some way to get my opponent's stuff off the board, just in case they have something really scary, so we'll take a Titanic Brawl there. And we did get the Scuttlegator really late in the draft like I was expecting, so we'll toss him in there. He can join the party. I'll go ahead and take another Shimmer of Possibility. Because I have 3 Sauroform hybrids, I might not be too concerned with having Shimmers in here, because if I have a hand that has a Sauroform hybrid and a Shimmer of Possibility that I can play on turn 1, I'm going to play the hybrid every time, so not super sure about that. I'll take another Azorius Guildgate. Take another Arrester's Admonition, try and just clear the way that way, maybe. Take a Steeple Creeper. Take another Shimmer of Possibility over a Fairy Duelist. I think Fairy Duelist is just so insanely low impact for a greedy draft that it's just not good. But I could be wrong on that. I say that every time I say anything, so just in case you were unsure, I am not saying that every pick that I make is the best pick, it's just what I am currently thinking is probably best. I don't know what is objectively the best. That's just a little PSA announcement out there. So, I have to cut a lot of cards. Like, a lot of cards. So if I want to just go all in, then we take out Growth Spiral. Why can't I drag it up there to cut it? That's pretty lame. So we take out Growth Spiral, we take out, like, maybe take out Triple Shimmer, but I kind of like always having something to cast on turn 1, and Shimmer, like, lets you search for exactly what you need, so that's pretty neat. So maybe just take out Courier and Creeper, because 3 and 4 are basically the same mana cost. Take out the Admonitions. Take out 1 Rendhorn. Take out a Prying Eyes. Take out a Swirling Torrent. Yeah, I guess we take out the Shimmers. And then how many lands is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 6, 12, 15, 16, 17. So we can put in 1 more land, then it's 18. I kind of want to take Gateway Plaza out. Because I don't like the double tapped land, but I think Guildgates should be fine. Because hopefully I can just cast like a Brush Strider or an Aeromunculus and play a Guildgate on turn 3. Or on turn, I guess that would be turn 2. And then on turn 3, play like a 5-drop and play a Guildgate. I have times to play Guildgates. So let's see. We have Law Mage's Binding, and that's it for stuff that needs white mana. So 4 planes is probably enough. For green, do we need double green on anything? We don't need double green until turn 3. And then double blue, we have 2 cards that need double blue. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blue sources. 1, 2, 3, 9 green sources. So we have 9 green sources and 9 blue sources. So I guess I'll put in 1 more green. Add a forest. And then we could run this. This is 18 lands. I think I want more lands. kind of want to just cut the Windstorm Drake, actually. Because I think just a 5/5 on the ground is going to be just as good for this deck, actually. So maybe cut the Windstorm Drake, because now it's just pumping an Aeromunculus and a Chillbringer. And I guess a Skatewing Spy, but Skatewing Spy I think is already just going to be a big enough game with the Rendhorns and the Beast and the hybrids and all that. So we'll cut Windstorm Drake to put in another land. So I just put in Forest and now I put in an Island, and we still have the same amount of green and blue sources. But now we have 19 lands in here. Really just trying to get Wrecking Beasts out. Let's see what's not in the deck. So I like this deck probably too much. Like, I guess if I'm like really going all in on the giant creatures, I don't even need to make the mana that bad with the Law Mage's Binding. Because if I'm just playing a bunch of 7/7s, like, what on earth could they possibly have that I need to Law Mage's Binding? They could have a Gate Colossus, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to keep it in there just in case, and if this manages to function, then, like, without needing anything to interact with my opponent's creatures, then I might go even more all in on the non-interactive strategy of just play my giant dude and hope that it's larger than all their stuff. This is some really classic Magic to me. This is what I started the game with, was green and red was what I started with. My dad just gave me a stack of green cards and a stack of red cards and was like, build some kind of deck out of this, and then we'll duel. And of course, me not knowing better at the time, I just made a mono green deck and a mono red deck, and I played the mono green deck most of the time, and it was just a bunch of giant fatties, and I just hoped that my creatures were way bigger than my opponents. And that was my whole game plan for the first many years of me playing Magic. So anyways, I'm going to keep this hand. I'm not a huge fan of it, because we only have 4 lands. But if we get one more land, we can Rampaging Rendhorn, and I think that's got to be pretty good. And if not, we can just Sauroform Hybrid. So it looks like we're in the mirror match. Azorius Guildgate is a nice draw. So I'm almost 100% sure we're both going to get to a point where we can make our hybrid 6/6s, so this is just a fair trade if they want to do it. Alright. On to opponent's turn. Oh, this really is the mirror match. Blue, white, green. Syndicate Messenger. Land's a pretty nice draw. Oh, I don't have 2 green. I only have 1 forest. Oh boy. Didn't even realize that. Well, guess I just play a Rendhorn. Put a counter on him. Because if I play the Scuttlegator now, he just sits here and does nothing. I'm not going to draw 2 cards next turn. So, like, the most lands I could have next turn is 7, and that's still not enough to adapt him, so I'll just play him out, like, later, when I know I'll be able to adapt him and start getting in there. Or when they have a potential 5/5 out, then he's perfect for that, because then he's a 6/6 defender. So we're taking 2 in the air, but we're about to hit them 5 with our Rendhorn, because I do not think that they're going to chump block with their eel. And another Rendhorn is a fine draw. Really just want a forest, honestly. But I'll take just another 5/5. They've got 1 mana left, so they could, like, they could play the +1/+1 untap a creature, but the most they get out of that is they get to chump block with Messenger instead. Alright, we're playing another 5/5. We're playing big boys. That's the deck plan. That's just how we roll. Opponent has reached 6 mana. That's the scary number. They get a Steeple Creeper. So they're trying to kill me with flyers. So I'm going to have to play this Chillbringer out just defensively at this point. Unless I draw like my Mammoth Spider, that'd be pretty nice. I think if they attack with Skitteriel, I'm just going to let it do its thing. Alright, no attacks. Let's Chillbringer down the Steeple Creeper, I think. Maybe do we just Chillbringer the Syndicate Messenger? Block and trade with Creeper. Could also just play a forest and attack with everybody and see what happens before I do anything. That's probably fine. Like, they could kill both my Rendhorns, but because I have the second forest now, I can just have a 6/6 as well, so even if I lose both the Rendhorns, I can also just play out a Scuttlegator and maybe adapt it next turn. So let's see. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to kill the Steeple Creeper. So I get to keep a 5/5, and I kill their Steeple Creeper. I could kill their Syndicate Messenger as well, if I pumped the hybrid. If I pump the hybrid, I am clearing their board, and then they just have a 1/1 flyer. Yeah, that's probably worth it. It's worth the loss of, like, not playing a card this turn to just clear the board. Alright. Does Scuttlegator get trample? No. It's just a 9/9. Trample would be so good here. Just get through that 1/1. They have 4 cards in their hand. They have card advantage. They've got 2 more cards than me, and I know that they're not lands. They've got Precognitive Perception, so now they have way more cards than me. And they got to scry some, so they've got card selection as well. So this could be bad, but it really depends how they built their deck. I built my deck very top-heavy, so my average draw should be more powerful than your average limited decks, but they also could have built their deck very top-heavy. Like, my top deck's late game should be, on average, pretty nice. Slimebind. Make my Rendhorn a 1/5. Alright, well, I'll still just get in there for 1, I guess. And it's still here to block stuff. Ooh, so now I have the mana to make a Scuttlegator really, really big. So I guess we'll play a Scuttlegator. Go ahead and attack him first. Are you gonna untap their 1/1 and put a +1/+1 counter on it to stop 1 damage? Oh my god, that's adorable. That's really adorable. I think we still just play Scuttlegator because I'm taking 2 a turn. That's not bad. We'll save the tap for something later. Like, yeah, if I play Chillbringer, then they just can't attack with their 2/2, but not really doing much with that, whereas I can very proactively be doing something with Scuttlegator. Simic Locket. Opponent's going to draw some more cards. They keep reading the Scuttlegator, so they probably have a removal or are actively searching for removal. Okay, looks like they're searching for removal. Because they're like, wait a second, that's a 9/9? Yep. They don't attack because if they did, they would die. That'd be exact lethal. Instead, I'll just do 1 damage to them. I mean, they could block the 1/5 again and take 9 if they want. Whoa! Whoa! What is opponent's plan? I'm terrified now. What do they have? Mitotic manipulation? Or mass manipulation? That's what that's called? Just take both my creatures? Dovin's Acuity. I feel like if they had mass manipulation, you'd still just block the 9/9. I guess they're just like, I've got a bunch of chump blockers, this'll work out. Taking 9. Alright. A bold strategy. For sure. I could tap down one of their blockers and make sure I kill something good, but I'm going to kill something anyway, so let's just make sure I draw cards that'll definitely kill them. Oh boy. I kind of want to just hit Brawl, Guardian Project, and another card here. Yeah, the other card's just a land, so whatever. But it does give me the Chillbringer mana, so I can put something on this board. Like, I don't get to draw the card from the Guardian Project, but I think that this definitely kills them faster. Just like tapping down their Airmunculus here. So yeah, next turn they can block the Senate Courier and then take 3 in the air if they don't play anything. So, like, I think playing the Chillbringer was the right play. Because it gives me some more damage on the board to kill them faster. And I have the Titanic Brawl as well to get through. I don't think that they're gonna... Oh, now they're definitely not gonna survive. Do you have a Fog? Okay, that was adorable. Alright, so they're just... Yeah, they're dead on board. I don't need to Titanic Brawl them. We'll just attack. Alright, so that was game 1. And the deck worked out again. I think that I have found what works in Greedy Draft. I think you definitely... You don't have to just draft green fatties like I'm doing, but I think that it's probably the best guilds would be Simic and Gruul, just because they have the giant green creatures. But I think that you can still make a pretty impressive deck in some of the other guilds. You just really have to make sure that, like, I just think the best thing that you can be doing in this format is having just like a really high curve and putting like a lot of lands in your deck so that you get to your high mana cards faster. Just have cards that are more impressive than your opponent's cards and don't worry too much about how good your curve is. Still make a curve. Like you could see when I was drafting, I was still worried about my 2 mana to 4 mana cards. I was still trying to get the early game stuff. But just not as much as usual. Usually your curve is like a lot of 2 mana stuff and you like curve down from there. Like some 2 mana stuff, a lot of 3 mana, and then lower and lower as you get higher in the mana costs. But I think this format, just with all the mana in the world, you can really go big. Ooh, this is going to be a good game. I really hope I draw a land next turn, though. Just because I drew the 4 mana card that turn that really made me want to play the untapped land. So this is going to be really awkward if I Guildgate and don't get to play a creature next turn. But I might be able to still take over, just with card advantage from drawing a card all the time with this Guardian Project. So opponent is on Gruul, so they're on a potentially very strong deck. They're on a really aggressive start if they pump the Goblin here. Which would make things really unfortunate if I didn't draw the land next turn. Opponent's probably thinking about just shooting that. Ooh, Electro Dominance for 2. Well, I'm glad I got that out of there. They also didn't even have a card to cast off of it. That's really nice. So I don't have to worry about all of a sudden dying out of nowhere to an Electro Dominance for like 8 on me. We drew the untapped land, so let's just go crazy. Let's go. Now we just play big boys. I'm still scared of what they could potentially do here. Because I have like one dude and that's it. It is a large dude, but I guess they're in red and green, so they're like the hardest colors to kill it, because most of their stuff is just deal damage, or have a creature you control deal damage to it. So my creatures are harder to kill for a deck like theirs than most decks. They send in the Gravelhide Goblin. I kind of just want to block, because I feel like I can't lose if this game goes long, but I can lose if they find some kind of crazy stuff to just damage me super fast. But I need one more land to cast these Wrecking Beasts. Actually, I don't. I just need one more turn with this Guild Gate if I don't draw land. Yeah, let's just get rid of their pump spells now so I don't have to worry about it just blowing up in my face later. So do they pump the Goblin and cast a Stony Strength here? I'm kind of interested in finding out what they have as well here. Maybe they have a Sure Strike, and that would be really bad for me. Okay, Colossus. So we trade. So they spent their Goblin and a Colossus to kill my Rendhorn, which is fair enough. Burning Tree Vandal from our opponent. Well, that was a pretty nice draw. Sure, it's not a Wrecking Beast, but it'll still stop the Vandal from attacking. And it gives me the time to set up my tapped lands for the Wrecking Beast. So this should be really nice. Ooh, we get to play 2 Wrecking Beasts with a counter on them and then Biogenic upgrade them. Or we could even just play them with haste and then upgrade. Like, upgrading a Wrecking Beast is going to make it a massively massive creature. So I could put 4 counters on one of them and 2 on the other ones. Then I get a 10-10 and an 8-8. That's ridiculous. And if I put the counter on instead of giving him haste, then I can make him just even more ridiculous. I mean, might as well go big. Let's put the counters on them and then just make Biogenic upgrade as crazy as possible. We'll go ahead and get in there for 3. I'm going to let them get in for 5 damage off the Acrobat here. Maybe that's playing a little bit cocky. I was just saying a whole bunch about how there's like no way I can lose if this game goes long. But if I get too cocky, I can definitely lose. I should just be playing as defensively as possible. Because like, I'm just drawing way more cards than them. So like, if I just didn't attack with Chillbringer there, then I'm like definitely safe. So now they're going to do something to kill Wrecking Beast. I hope they Scorch Mark it, because then I get to draw another card. That would be so good. That'd be actually perfect. So Guardian Project, you don't get to draw the card unless there's no other creatures on your battlefield or graveyard with the same name. So unfortunately it was not a Scorch Mark, so I don't get to draw the card off a Wrecking Beast here. So I guess I'll just play a Brush Strider. See what we draw. Draw Law Mage's Binding. Well, thanks for auto-tapping the planes. Do I want to just hit them for 9 in the air and then they're dead next turn if they don't have removal? I think I do. So we're going to upgrade. Put 6 counters on Chillbringer, make it a 9/9. I hit them for 9 and the next turn I hit them for 9 and they die. If they can't kill Chillbringer. Biogenic Upgrade is such a good card. Just makes something a massive threat, or makes your whole field bigger, depending on your needs at the time. So we're going to trade with the Vandal and let them get in however much damage they pay for off the Goblin. But I don't want them drawing more cards if they find a way to survive Chillbringer. Opponent's deck's pretty weird for this format. They've got like Cavalcade of Calamity and Burn Bright. These are cards for like just really fast aggro decks. I think there is potential for you to make a really fast aggro deck in this format just because it's not just the decks with the giant creatures that work twice as fast, it's also technically the aggro decks. So like, it is technically possible for somebody to just be like turn 1 double Footlight Fiend, turn 2 double Cavalcade of Calamity or something stupid, I don't know. But that doesn't actually sound that impressive. I'm just trying to think of like what possible things like an aggro deck could do really well when they get to play 2 lands a turn. I don't really think Cavalcade of Calamity or Burn Bright are really like... I just can't think of a way that those would be like intensely impressive. So I drew like... I think I drew literally all my gates in this hand, but we're gonna keep it. The creatures actually match the mana base really well here, because they're at odd mana costs, 3 mana and 5 mana. So I get to go Guildgate, and the next turn I go Plains, Brush Strider, Guildgate, and then the turn after that, hopefully draw another basic land by then, and then I get to go basic land and my final Guildgate, so that would be really nice. But yeah, it's got Precognitive Perception, it's got the perfect mana. I like this hand a lot. It is a little bit slow, for sure. But it could work out. So opponent starts off with Dovin's Acuity. Everybody loves that card, apparently. They are playing... They're playing white, blue, black. Dovin's Acuity. This is a format that... or this is a deck that really annoys me in the regular version of this format. Where you're just playing 1 card a turn. Or not 1 card a turn, 1 land a turn. And then they just play mono removal with like a junk troller as well. They are really going for the boring slow control build. I don't know if it's really boring to play, but definitely to play against it is boring. So we don't really want, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got the 5, we've got the 6th mana, so we don't need too much more mana. So I guess I'll just put the lands on bottom, because I'll probably draw more lands anyway, and even if I don't, I could just draw this 5 mana card. I have another 5 mana card here to play, I have a 6 mana card to play. I literally just need 1 more land, and I'll be ready to go. So I'm putting those extras on the bottom. So yeah, we still got 1 more land, so I'm really, really glad that I put the other lands on the bottom, because that's, that's 2 more lands that we just drew. Let me actually check. Okay, so my battery is working. So they play a high alert. So their Junk Troller is basically a 6/6 now. So I think I'm going to put a Wrecking Beast out with a counter on it. That's a horrible auto tap. Why on earth would you tap that way? Save up a white and a blue? Save up a green and a blue so I can actually play my fight spell to kill their Junk Troller. So we're going to put a counter on this and then fight Junk Troller, unless they just counter it, which is kind of funny because of how much of a non-combo it is with Dovin's Acuity, but I mean, that's fine. They'll mill another Wrecking Beast, a Sauroform Hybrid, and an Aeromunculus, so they got some good mills off of me. That was pretty unfortunate, so they put their counterspell on the bottom. Looks like they're trying to play the very slow mill plan. Now, a Humongulus is a 5/5. Alright. So... I think I Scuttlegator now. That'll be a 9/9, so I can actually attack through these guys. Nothing else really can. Unfortunately, it's going to take me 2 more turns to attack with the Scuttlegator, because I'll have to pump him and kill one of their creatures with my fight spell next turn, and then he'll have the damage on him, so we won't be able to finish off the game there. So we'll have to see. Maybe they just have a removal for it. They just bounce it to my hand? Okay. I could kill the Junk Troller now, and then all they have is a 5/5. I don't think I want to do that, though. I want this 9/9. Opponent's deck is pretty annoying, but it is also more interesting than mine, I would say. They're definitely playing the kind of deck that was like really interesting when the format first came out, but it's like kind of a meme to me at this point of like, okay, I've seen the Dove and Security high alert type decks like a million times now. It's not as interesting to me, even though it is more niche than most of the decks for sure. It's a lot more niche than my deck. Let's see, 4, 5, 6... I've got 9 mana, so I can't play the Spy and Adapt at the same turn. Kind of want to just Chillbringer down their Junk Troller. Can I play anything else if I play a Chillbringer this turn? I've got 9 mana, that's awkward. Kind of want a 10th mana right now, which is hilarious because of all the lands I put on the bottom. I was like, 9 mana is like way more than enough. But now I'm wanting to play... I guess I get to play a 5 mana card and my Skatewing Spy. So I can play Rendhorn Spy, and then Rendhorn has flying. That's cool. Rendhorn has flying. Hopefully I draw an untapped land next turn so I can play... Wait, then I could just play Chillbringer and Spider. I still can't play Scuttlegator and Chillbringer in the same turn, even though I would really want to. Final payment on Rendhorn. I don't really know why my opponent is not attacking with Junk Troller. I might have just been dead by now if they had been. I wouldn't have been dead by now, but I think they'd be in a better position. Like, throwing all these instants and sorceries on the bottom can wait. Like, look, I'm at 12 life, and now they have an Ill-Gotten Inheritance out. They're literally never going to redraw all of these cards that they're putting on the bottom, whereas they could definitely just be damaging me, and that would absolutely come into play. Wow, I am kind of irritated right now. I'm just going to play 2 cards in one turn here. Not Scuttlegatoring, unfortunately, but I will go ahead and hit him for 5, I think. The thing is, now I have to chump block the Humongulus for sure. So do I just block with Brush Strider? This Ill-Gotten Inheritance is such a threat right now. So I just hit him for 2. I guess I can chump block with Mammoth Spider because it's just doing as much damage as the Brush Strider. The reach actually isn't accomplishing anything here. Dovin's Acuity. This is like the 20th recast. A Senate Courier as a 4/4 thanks to the high alert. I have 10 mana so I can Guardian Project and cast Scuttlegator this turn. Get a land. That is a nice Senate Courier. Nicely timed as well. They probably have like 2 more removal spells in their hand that are instant speed that they're going to cast in their main phase and draw more cards and gain more life. Like more final payments. Yep. I'm sure my opponent is having a lot of fun playing this deck, but it is hard to play against. Not that it's like difficult in terms of beating it. Like, I'm probably going to lose this game, but like, not that it's difficult in terms of gameplay strategies, but It is difficult mentally. It is kind of taxing to just sit here until I inevitably die because they've drawn a bajillion cards before I did. We're putting the counters on the Scuttle Gauge just so I can kill the Junk Troller, so that if I ever get a Wrecking Beast again, it will actually be the biggest threat. But if I don't, I can do nothing until I die to this Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Do you have a pump spell for the Senate Courier? Okay, they gave it Vigilance for fun. Yeah, I mean, I am just dying to this Inheritance really quickly. Guess now I get to hit them for 3. Oh, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender! Oh, shit, dude! Oh my god! His text overrides Sky Tether! It can attack as though it didn't have Defender! I can't believe I didn't see that last turn! Oh my god, I get to kill a Humongulus! Yay! It doesn't change a lot, because I'm just killing one Humongulus, but I get to kill a Humongulus! That's cool! That was pretty neat. They are gaining so much life here. It's ridiculous. I might have even done 20 damage to him this game. The world may never know because they've gained like 5,000. Oh my god, third final payment? Guess they do keep putting them back in the deck, but they're putting them back on the bottom. Yeah, see, these are... They have a third final payment, because I know that those ones are on the bottom. What the shit, man? I can haste a Wrecking Beast, and it'll still be big enough to get through the Humongulus. Raw. Gotta save these guys to block the Humongulus or I just die. I still probably just die. I'm 3 turns away from dying to Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Sphinx of the Guild Pact, okay. Seems good. Island does not seem good. But I do have like a million lands in this deck, so... I'd like to just not play against this deck again. Okay, I'm gonna scoop. I'm not technically dead yet, but I'm pretty irritated. I'm dead next turn. Not literally next turn, because I just blocked their Humongulus and I block their Flyer with my Reach guy. But, like, my next turn, that's when I'm dead. Alright. That is probably the most annoying deck in the format. Just in the regular Ravnica Allegiance format. I had not seen it operate well in Greedy Draft yet, so I guess now we got to see that. You can definitely draft the Dovin's Acuity control deck in a Greedy Draft as well. Oh my god, why? I have 19 lands in here, that's literally 1 card away from half the deck. How do I only draw 3 out of 9? I have to draw 2 lands for this hand to do anything. But then it's so good. I have to mulligan. See, look at this one. This one has 5 lands, and it's only 8 cards instead of 9. This is a total keep, though. I get to scry at the start, too. I don't want a 6th land just yet. I just want one by the time I want to pump the hybrid. I'm going to use the Sphinx of Foresight. And we'll get a 5 mana card. That's a 7 mana card, so I guess I do want the island. So we'll get the island first, and then the 5 mana, then the 7 mana. Sure. I want all of those. Oh wait, I need another forest though. Oh my god! The one forest that I scryed to the bottom because I was like, well, I don't need the second green for a long time. And then there's no second green in these next three. Awkward. Alright, so now we're playing against Speed Rakdos here. I assume. Let's play a 4/4 flyer on turn 2. Hopefully they don't immediately have a removal for it. Nice. Scry 1, we're keeping the Rendhorn. I may have to scry away the Wrecking Beast just to make sure I don't die. 4 to my opponent. I think I'm going to keep the Wrecking Beast though, and I just play Chillbringer next turn. Do they have a Rakdos Showstopper? That'd be insane. Alright, use your Sure Strike. We'll block that one because they can start sacking creatures later if they have to kill it. Rafter Demon, make me discard a card? I'll discard Soarform Hybrid because I don't have the second green yet. And I think for the same reason I might actually just put the Wrecking Beast on bottom, because now they're down to 2 cards in hand, so I just kill them with the flying here. Yeah, I just kill them with flying. And that's just the game plan. We'll just tap that guy down, attack for 9. And then next turn I attack for exactly 7 in the air. Fireblade Artist. And a Dagger Caster, and they're dead. They are dead in the air. Nice. Alright. Definitely think that the decision to scry that first forest to the bottom was wrong. But luckily, thanks to the Sphinx of Foresight not just getting immediately removed, I got to just scry cards to make sure I didn't draw double green stuff. I still did draw a double green card, drew a biogenic manipulation or whatever. That would have been super cool, but just got to kill him with the Sphinx instead, so that worked out. This is a definite keep. Does not have the perfect mana. I do need a second blue for the Sphinx, but since Sphinx is in my opening hand, I get to scry 3. And I'll just scry to a second blue mana. I'm going to put Lawmage's Binding on bottom, actually, because I have no idea when I'll draw a white source. And then, yeah, just draw the island for the second blue. And we're off to the races next turn. 4 mana, and opponent goes Gore Clan Wrecker. As a 2/2 with haste. Well, Sphinx of Foresight probably going to get killed by something. If they just have a Savage Smash, though, it at least still trades for the Wrecker, so then they just trade their Wrecker and a Savage Smash for my Sphinx. Rebel Belt Recluse, so no trades. Opponent is going full aggro, so we're going to Chillbringer the Recluse next turn. So there's a Forest here, so I can hit 6 mana this turn. I could make sure I hit Wrecking Beast. We'll keep that. I guess I can also, now I could play Rendhorn with a counter, fight the Wrecker, and then block the Recluse. As an alternative play to just Chillbringer the Recluse. Because then I actually just deal with it, and then whenever I draw a land thanks to the Sphinx, I get to play a Wrecking Beast, and it's hopefully just bigger than their stuff. And if it's not, then I Chillbringer what isn't. Yeah, I think I like that play. +1/+1 counter. Fight the Wrecker. Attack for 4. Start the 5-turn clock, thanks to the Sphinx of Foresight. If it hits them 4 times, they die. Just because 4 times 5 is 20. So they're at 7 mana, so they could have their own Wrecking Beast now, which is pretty spooky. Definitely blocking the Recluse, seeing if they have a Sure Strike or something. No response from opponent. Dagger Caster. And a Steeple Creeper, so they just have little stuff now. That thing can gain flying, though, to either block my Sphinx or try to kill me. But I'm going to go ahead and hit them for 4 anyway. We'll play Wrecking Beast with a counter, make them have the blue if they want to damage me. Because they don't have the blue mana to give it flying yet. But I assume they're probably splashing. I can't speak right now because I just got my 7/7 Active Treasoned. Is that exact lethal? What a nice way to cheese out a win. Well, that's unfortunate. Active Treason Pump Spell for the win out of nowhere. That is a definite way to lose. Well, let's hop into the next round. Active Treason's probably just a lot better in this format than a regular draft, just because everybody can play higher mana cost stuff. I think I do like to play like Active Treason in here for sure. Not the best hand we've had, but I can work with this. Definitely want to draw at least 1 land soon to play our 5 mana stuff like Mammoth Spider and to start getting towards Wrecking Beast. Opponents on Orzhov, they start with Impassioned Orator. We draw a Skatewing Spy. So we can play that next turn even if we don't draw land. Not going to attack with the hybrid because I'm definitely hoping to get to 6 mana eventually. Opponent's on white, blue, black again, probably some kind of control build. Vindictive Vampire. Interesting. Did not think they'd be attacking right now. I guess since they have the Vampire out and they get value out of their stuff dying. I think I just don't block, because soon the Orator's going to be basically useless, just because other creatures are going to be bigger. I think I'd rather play Mammoth Spider first. It draws out any kind of removal they have so that the Skatewing Spy can survive, possibly. Alright, get in there with the Brush Strider. Chillbringer on the Mammoth Spider. This is pretty unfortunate. I think I still just don't block, though. They're off to a pretty good start for the races. So now I do have the mana to make hybrid a 6/6. So 2 2/2s and a 3/3 on their field. So I'm taking 7. I go to 9. They would take 9 and go to 10 if they don't block. I kind of like just pumping up the hybrid and getting in there. Let's make it a race and we'll see what happens. All right. They might have some kind of crazy pump spell here. Pump their whole field and just kill me. Pitiless Pontiff. Okay, so that's a sack outlet, so they can sacrifice their other stuff and drain life from me, which is pretty scarily good. Also is really good at blocking the hybrid if I don't give it flying. Alright, this is pretty bad. Now they have a whole bunch of really good blockers. Luckily I can give the hybrid flying and still get over, but I might just die. So if I just play Skatewing Spy and attack them for 6, they go to 6 life. But then, God, Vindictive... I'm pretty sure Vindictive Vampire plus Pitiless Pontiff just kills me, because that's a really good combo. Whenever any of their creatures dies, they get to drain me for 1 life, and they can just spend 1 mana and make sure one of their creatures dies. So, like, I need to just block with everything, I think. If I play Skatewing Spy and attack with Hybrid, I do 6 to them, but then I only have 3 blockers. That guy's got Menace, so I can literally just block there, there, and there, and I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to 4, and then the rest of their creatures die, and then I just die. I think I'm pretty dead here. Can they only do that during their turn? No, they can do that whenever. I think I bind the Pontiff, and I'm still probably just dead? So they could sack one of their creatures right now to drain 1 life from me. I probably should not have attacked next turn, because 9 life is really low when they have a Vindictive Vampire out. But now they're seemingly possibly out of cards here. So if I block... If I block like this, I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they gain 2. What do they have in their hand? So I'm at 4. Do they have an Ill-Gotten Inheritance, I swear? That'd be the worst. Oh god, what are they doing? Turn 2 creatures from their grave to their hand? Wow. Dead Revels is a card, for sure. Vindictive Vampire for the kill, pretty much. So... do I just play Rendhorn and attack with Hybrid, and if I don't die, I can maybe kill them in the air? I think that's the plan. But they have a Chillbringer. They have a Chillbringer, so it doesn't matter what I play. Yeah. Because if I attack now, they can Chillbringer one of my guys, then I just can't block the Menace. In which case, I take 3, and if I block the Vampire, then... Actually... yeah, I can just block the Vampire, because he doesn't trigger when he dies, so then I'll be at 1 life, and then I have, like, 1 last shot to maybe win. But Rendhorn's definitely going to get tapped, so I don't think I win. I just do 6 damage to them in the air, unfortunately. Which is going to be 3 less than enough. Tap the Mammoth Spider. Oh! Oh, wait, no, they have a Chillbringer. They can just block. They can just block with the Chillbringer and win that way. Because I need 2 blockers back now. I can't possibly have 2 blockers. If I attack with the Hybrid alone, then they might think that I just have a pump spell and can kill them. What happens if I Wrecking Beast, though? If I Wrecking Beast with haste, that might be the best plan to kill them? Wait, yeah, that probably just kills them. What am I thinking about this whole time? They don't have the life gainer out anymore. Does this kill him? This whole time I'm trying to be tricksy with the Spy. But this is dead on board with just the haste. Nice! Oh my god. That was a really close game. Another white-blue-black deck. That one wasn't as controlling, though. It was more combo-y Vindictive Vampire shenanigans. Dead Revel and stuff for possible card advantage and winning out of attrition and stuff like that. Definitely a very fine deck from our opponent. Alright, so this is another hand. We have Sphinx of Foresight, and we can cast it on turn 2. So I think this is an auto keep. So I think we're scrying lands to the top here, actually. Like, whatever I scry is probably just going to keep all the cards. Yeah, I can cast the Law Mage's Binding, I can cast the Mammoth Spider. I think I just keep all the cards, put the Forest first. Yeah, I was like, I think literally anything I draw here is a good draw. So I'm going to Guild Gates first. We're not just going to play Hybrid on turn 1, unfortunately. But it's because that way I can cast Sphinx of Foresight on turn 2, so I guess it is a fortunate reason to be unfortunate. Then I can Precognitive Perception on turn 5 if they don't play anything, and if they do, I just play a 5/5 to hopefully block stuff. I think this is a real good start. But, opponent could have an equally good start. They start off with a Thirsting Shade, so they have a bunch of mana, so they can really pump those things. And that's 2 Thirsting Shades, so they are one of these weird decks that's trying to be like super aggro, since they got the double lands. So double Thirsting Shade. I'll be so excited if they go Mountain Cavalcade of Calamity. I'd be happy. Be like, yeah, opponent's got the deck. Cavalcade, Thirsting Shade. Alright. Unfortunately, they have started off with my least favorite color scheme in the format for like the 3rd time in a row this round, and they're just like the removal colors. Excuse me. So, there goes my big boy. So we'll play a new one. Guess I'll just counter it. Or put a counter on it. Because, like, if I just keep attacking here, they're still just slowly gaining life, so it doesn't... Basically just does 2 damage a turn if it's a 4/4. Do they have a second Undercity's Embrace? Okay. Orzhov Locket. They could Orzhov Locket and then cast Undercity's Embrace, because they now have 3 mana again. Mortify, okay. Mono removal. The color scheme. Big blocky boy. We're just gonna keep landing creatures to block these until it, like, until they stick. So 3 mana to pump it, so they can pump them twice. They can make one a 3-power creature. Whenever I draw land, I get to play a Hybrid and a Skatewing Spy in the same turn, hopefully. Hopefully that will block stuff well. Senate Griffin. Good thing Mammoth Spider has reach. I do think I want to put more stuff on this board. If I draw the land. If I don't draw land, I might just Perception. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to put creatures out. We can Perception later. I guess there's an argument for casting Perception right now, because then if they have a counter spell, I play around it, but most of the counter spells in this format, I think they're double blue, so I don't think it's likely that they have one, because they only have the 1 blue mana up. Don't have a second island right now. Sphinx's Insight. Draw more cards. Opponent has drawn all the cards. Scuttlegator, let's just draw cards. Let's join in on the card draw party. I think I want 1 land, and then the 7 mana card, and whatever my next card is. Guardian Project, that's a pretty nice next card. They have 8 mana, so not quite enough to pump the Shades 3 times yet. They can pump them twice still. Now they can pump them 3 times. So they can make a Shade a 4-power creature. Which isn't enough to kill a spider, but it's enough to not die to a spider. Which is kind of relevant. Opponent is on, like, all of the lockets. So they're just gonna draw all kinds of cards. All day long. They have enough mana for a counterspell now, so I guess I'll like Guardian Project first. Okay. I don't think they have a counterspell, because I think they probably would have tried to counter that. So now we'll just pass, saving up our Law Mage's Binding. And then next turn we just start playing a creature every turn and drawing cards and hopefully just getting in there. Just with card advantage and much bigger creatures than these Thirsting Shades. Oh my god. My opponent is like Thirsting Shade's #1 fan. I wouldn't be surprised if their username was Thirsting Shade. This is awesome. I like this. Opponent really likes lifelink cards, it seems. Hey, I won't judge. My favorite card from the Return to Innistrad was Uninvited Geist. And that's kind of similar visually. It's a creepy thing. They've got to play something bigger for Law Mage's Binding at some point, right? Right? I don't think I'm attacking into this giant horde anytime soon. They could have like a Kaya's Wrath and just destroy my soul. I think I want to play Wrecking Beast with a counter on it, because I think the plan is now to just get in with flying because all these Thirsting Shades. So I just want to start attacking with things with counters. Like, I could also just start adapting my creatures, but I want to leave some stuff as blockers. Alright, now we're still saving the Law Mage's Binding mana up, which is nice. Thirsting Shades are all really scary, but luckily they can only pump one of them a turn. These are legitimate threats. They've got a lot of mana. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the triple pump. They're all 4/4s whenever they want. But they can only make one of them a 4/4 each turn. So Mammoth Spider still is just going to block fine. Knight of the Last Breath. 3 mana, sack a non-token creature, create a 1/1 flying creature. So they can turn them all into flyers. I think I'm okay with that. I don't think I want to Law Mage's Binding that, just because they turn the Thirsting Shades into like 1/1 flyers. That's still fine, because I'm going to have so many flying creatures anyway. And I have like a Mammoth Spider. I think I'm totally okay with that. I do have to win this game at some point, though, or else I'm going to mill out before them because of Guardian Project. Is this 5 mana or 6 mana? Oh, it's 6 mana to adapt. I hope I draw land. Ooh. Well, I did draw a dude. I'm now officially not Law Mage's Binding the Knight. At least not yet. So attack with the 7/7 Flying Trample. Start slowly getting there. They're going to sack something to chump it? Okay, I was going to say, it's got trample, so chumping doesn't work super well. My opponent has a lot of life, so they are fine to take some hits from the Wrecking Beast, but not infinite hits from it. Scry a card to the top, and they get a Grasping Thrall. So, I want to save Law Mage's Binding mana, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see, 6, 10, 11, 12, so I can spend 9 mana. So I guess I'll just adapt the most expensive cost since I can do it now. And then I'll start doing the cheaper ones later, when I possibly can't afford to do that and play something. So they have 3 flying threats, but they don't have enough mana to make any more flyers, so I think it's okay to just attack with Like the big old flyers. Because then they probably chump the 9/9. And then I only have to worry about blocking 2 things with flying. It's probably okay. They might even block it with all 3 to kill it? I'd be really happy with that. Okay. I'll absolutely take that. So now I really don't have to worry about flyers at all. I could also just Law Mage's Binding the Night of the Last Breath, and now I just kill them next turn if they don't draw into something. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So now they're like dead on board to my flyers. If they don't draw something like immediately. Because now they can't just sack things to make flying chump blockers. So hopefully this just gets there. This will force them to like attack with all of their lifelinking guys to not die immediately. Oh, I guess they just die immediately. 7, 12, plus 6, 18. All right. I'm very happy with how I played in that game, because I think that it would be possible if I just played too slowly and wasn't ever worried about getting the win, that ill-gotten inheritance would just kill me, because I have like nothing to deal with ill-gotten inheritance. So if I can't kill them quickly, then they could just play an ill-gotten inheritance and win. So I'm glad that I played in a way to stop them from just like chumping everything and not dying that fast. Hand is a little awkward. Not too much of a top end, but I will keep it. Okay. Now this hand's really nice, but they're probably just going to kill Sphinx of Foresight like immediately. Opponent is on a lot of colors. Oh, maybe just red-black. They've only played red and black so far. They're running Scorchmark and get the perfect target for it, so congratulations to opponent. I don't think running Scorchmark in Greedy Draft is that heinous. I just think that it's a little bit risky. Here comes Get the Point. Undercity's Embrace, okay. Undercity's Embrace, another card, another removal spell specifically that I'm not a very big fan of. I definitely think it's probably better in Greedy Draft than regular draft. Because regular draft, everybody's playing a deck that's on curve. So they can just sacrifice their lowest mana cost creature and not really worry. So, opponent is on cheese.deck. And they won the coin flip, so that's wonderful, but we're just going to bind that immediately, I think. Start playing cards after this turn. What else do you have? Not gonna let you just win because you played a Mythic. Have a Blade Juggler. Okay. I mean, their Mythic did a really strong job, because they got to just kill 2 of my cards at the cost of 1 of their cards. Because all they did was play Rakdos the Showstopper, and it basically killed my Skatewing Spy and made me discard my Law Mage's Binding. If you think about it that way. It achieved its goal. It just didn't kill me. Undercity Scavenger, that thing's probably gonna sack the Rakdos. So I'm gonna go ahead and fight it now so I can actually kill it before it gets big. Haha! You're dead. They can attack me with the Blade Juggler now, though, but I'm at 20, so I'm not that worried. So yeah, opponent is showing off how you build a slow Rakdos deck. Or not a slow, but, you know, like a high mana cost, more value-driven Rakdos deck. I just say that because they've got like 6 lands and a Lock It Out, and I'm still at 20 life. So it's definitely not what you usually see from Rakdos. Cry of the Carnarium to kill both the dudes. Fair enough. That's just a trade. I mean, so now we're in the top deck war? So it's just, do I draw more creatures than they draw removal spells, basically? Because their creatures are going to be smaller and less impactful, so if we just both draw the same number of creatures, then I'll just win. But if they draw more removal spells than I draw creatures, then I will lose. Noxious Grudian. Okay. Looks like we're waiting until I find some way to deal with that guy. Or we could just start attacking with our 3-2. Because I doubt they trade it with their Death Touch guy, because the Death Touch guy can stop all of my large creatures. Opponent is at a very good start for this top deck war, just because they have the Lock It Out to draw 2 cards here. And I'm drawing a bunch of land, but that is how I built the deck. I will be mana flooded a bit, just because my mana curve is so high. I don't really want to upgrade, but I might have to just to have threats. Yeah, let's just do it. Make these both equally threatening. They Scorch Mark me in response, that's awful. Alright, these are both really threatening now. One of them's going to die to the Grudian, it's up to them to decide. What do they have? They've got something in their hand, they're looking at it. Wow. Macabre Mockery, putting in work. Cool. My field is gone. They have a 2-3, and I'm going to sit here and draw lands because that's how I built my deck. I should probably have played the Guildgate, but I kind of want to make them think that I have something, so it's not as pitiful of a loss here. Jesus Christ. Whatever. Let's just play him. I will say, I do think that using my Gigantic Pump spell was the right play, because if I drew no action, then I just wasn't going to use it, and then I'm just, like, sitting here doing nothing. I guess it probably wasn't the right play to attack, though. I probably should have just not attacked until I had something else, just in case something like this happened, and I just absolutely got destroyed. Wow. The worst draws there, but what do you expect from the 19 land deck? There's a lot of upside and also quite a bit of downside to running that high of a land count, and we got to get hit by the downside at some point. So, a 5-win draft run here. Definitely a pretty good record, but not the exceptional 7-win run like I wanted to try to get to, but it is higher than average by a decent chunk. Average is obviously 3 wins, 3 losses. That is exactly middle ground. So, thank you all for watching my second greedy draft of Ravnica Allegiance, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another one. They are up for another 42 hours for anyone interested. I don't know what they're getting replaced by. I think they might just be getting removed. And there just might not be another silly format for a while, which would be unfortunate. So we've got a Domri. He's pretty cool. I haven't really seen any good decks using him, though, so I don't know. It adds to the collection for sure. He's a mythic rare planeswalker. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another greedy draft. Bye-bye.